Hello, fellow hair artists. It's time to talk hair, beauty, and the business behind it all. I'm Kitty Youngquist, and I'm the host of Beyond the Shears and the 406. Let's start today's topic. It's not quite as spicy as the last one, but we are going to talk about Instagram marketing and what's changing in the year 2026.
Yeah. Wait, it's 2026 already? Just like starting here. Wait.
Sorry, Paula, you're going to have to cut that out.
Wait, what? You're just... All right. Okay, got this. Here we go. All right. I'm Jen. Oh no, the giggles.
It's
no.
okay.
Okay.
I'm Jenny, your co-host.
I'm Jenny, your co-host, artist, mentor, and team anchor here at Fabric Salon.
So let's talk about what's changing, Jenny. Like 2026 is going to be new. First of all, let's talk about our Instagram knowledge before 2021.
Well, I feel like it's constantly changing, and I feel like I just get a handle on it, and they switch stuff up. So it's
All the
frustrating.
time.
It's very, very frustrating.
It is super frustrating.
Hopefully we can get to the bottom of some things today and help people kind of understand what to look forward to in 2026.
I'm pretty excited because honestly, I've been doing a deep dive on this. Marketing is super important for my salon. If it's not important for your salon, I think that you should listen to this podcast because if you really want to make money in this day and age, you have to have an online presence.
Sure.
You have to have a website. You have to have Instagram.
To be good at it.
Yes. Yes. So being a hairstylist is not just as easy as learning how to do hair anymore.
We have to be photographers.
Yep.
We're therapists. So we're therapists, we're hairdressers, we're photographers, we're social media marketers, we're content creators. What am I missing here? Videographers.
Videographers, for sure. We have to know all of these things and how to market what we do. One of the reasons that I decided that I would like to do a commission salon is because being a hair artist is not easy. Honestly.
Right.
Gosh, I've been doing hair for 35 years and probably 31 of that, I was an independent contractor. I ran my business pretty well and I just kind of did it by myself, but taking over a business, then having new stylists who are really just up and coming and have never, like, you got to teach them pretty much everything from the ground up, has taught me a lot about how the world has changed since I graduated from beauty school in 1991.
Yeah. I mean, back then, and even when I started 16 years ago, there was no social media. So we were sort of doing what we could do, you know, to kind of get it together. I mean, I guess we did have MySpace and things like that. Barely Facebook, maybe 16
But we
years
weren't
ago.
marketing there.
That wasn't really used for marketing. So, you know, your best marketing was word of mouth and sending good haircuts out into the world and things like that, which still super does matter. It really, really, really does.
Yes, it does.
But you also have to have social media presence because now more than ever, people are using social media to find salons, find the hairdresser that works for them, look at your portfolio. All of a sudden, this is at their fingertips. And if you're not in the game, that client is going to go to somebody else.
Right. So what do you do when you're a new stylist? How do you even start? You have an Instagram page, right?
Right.
So how do you start marketing?
Right.
I try to teach a little bit of something that I call strategic seduction. Because I remember this, my daddy used to tell me I should get into marketing or be a lawyer because I could argue anything. And if I really wanted something, I could paint a really good picture. And of course, I ignored him. But now that he's gone, I'm like, oh,
That's what
he
I'm
was
doing.
right. He used to say I could sell snow to an Eskimo if I really believed in it. But that's because I really believed in what I was doing and products that I used and all of these things. But, you know, if you're just a hairstylist and maybe you're not, so I'm pretty outgoing. I'm an extrovert, I would say. I'm an extrovert in the salon and I'm an extrovert at home. But if I'm in a situation where I'm not super comfortable, I'm an introvert. I have to sit back and watch. If I'm in an environment that I'm comfortable in, I can be an extrovert.
Right.
But we have stylists, new stylists, and older stylists too, even, that they're just not comfortable, like, applauding themselves almost. Like, they're uncomfortable saying, oh, look what I can do.
Right.
They don't even really want to market or take videos of their work because they're like, oh, it makes me uncomfortable to put my stuff out there. And that's not who I am. I'm kind of more of somebody that sits back and watches. And I want my clients to kind of come to me.
Right, which is not a thing anymore. It just, like I said before, if you're not engaging in social media marketing, you are missing out on a ton of clientele. And I am one of those people that don't like to toot my own horn. I am one of those people that are very uncomfortable being like, look what I can do. I know I'm a great hair artist. I know that I have a lot to offer. I know that, if I can get someone into my chair, they're probably going to stick with me. All of those things. But if I don't know how to market myself, I'm really doing myself a disservice.
Right.
And that's what I realized pretty quickly.
Also, as your salon manager, I know this. But is it my responsibility to not only put the people in your chair, but to make sure that they come back? Whose responsibility is that?
It's mine.
Right.
As the hair artist.
Right.
It's mine. It's my responsibility to draw them in, my responsibility to give them a good service, and my responsibility to get them to come back to me.
Right.
The end.
Right.
But how do we do that, right? So if we're bad at social media, we don't really understand where to start. You got to start somewhere, and you got to just start putting things out there, and you'll be surprised how quickly your game will change and how much better you will get just by doing.
Exactly. So I have some good news for you.
Oh,
I
like good news.
As an introverted artist, there have been some changes that are going on Instagram, and I always keep track of all of this stuff because as an owner, I love doing hair. I have a certain amount of clientele, but I am not taking I'm not taking any new clients. I'm good where I'm at. I like it where I'm at. I really am trying to build my staff, and they are all amazing. But I can't get on my Instagram and sell you. You have to sell you. I can bring clients in to the salon because of my name, because of Lisa's name, because of the reputation that Fabric has built over the years. There are going to be people that just come in because of that. But once they're in your chair, it's up to you to bring them back.
Right.
It's up to you. We talk about the flow of the client, like from the time they walk in until they walk out, what your responsibilities are as a hair artist. It is up to you to be sure that they get rebooked so that you are going to have a client in 6 weeks.
Right.
That spot is saved. How you say that to them is completely different. Like I always try to just say, look, do you like your hair today? First of all, I ask them, how do you like your hair? Oh my gosh, I love it. Would you like to be able to do this at home? Yes, I would love to. Let me show you the products that I used to get your hair to look like this so that you can do it at home. And then once you're done with that, then you drop them to Haley. And you say, Haley, this is my client, Jen. I need to see her again in 6 weeks for a root touch-up and a highlight to maintain the freshness of her hair. Can you take care of that for me? And Haley will say yes. And then you're passed off and you're done. Some artists forget that step. And some artists who are in their own pods or whatever they call them, suites, that's up to you because you don't have a receptionist to do that for you.
Right.
So then you have to play that part too. You've got to be the receptionist, make sure that you're getting rebooked so that you have money coming in the next 6 weeks. But anyway, my whole point of this is I always once a year in December try to deep dive onto Instagram, and I've discovered some new things, which is pretty exciting because things that used to be are now no longer. So going in from 2025 to 2026, how you view your social media is going to be a little bit different because Instagram is viewing you differently.
Right. It's important to know how you're using it and that you're using it correctly. And bringing it just back a little bit, when you said, it's not your responsibility to get guests in my chair, absolutely true. But there's another element to that, and that is your vibe attracts your tribe.
Right.
So you and I, we're friends, we're colleagues, we do lots of stuff together. We're very different people. Right? So the vibe you're putting out on your social media to attract the clientele that you would like in your chair is way different than what I would be doing.
Right.
So if you were doing my social media marketing for me, I'm doing myself a disservice because I'm not showing who I am personality-wise.
Exactly.
And so it really, you have to kind of find your niche. You have to find who you are and what you want to
What
portray
your
yourself to
vibe
be, what
is.
your
What
vibe
is
is.
my vibe?
Mhm.
Also, Haley does all of our social media marketing. And when I have her social media market, because she's the front desk, I'm having her market the entire salon.
Mhm.
Not mirror, not fabric, but each individual person gets highlighted. You need that. If you don't have a front desk person to do that for you as the owner, you should be doing that for each of your staff because
Right.
everybody needs to be highlighted. Look what I have here.
Right.
Right?
So we have social media for the salons, both of them
Mhm.
separately. And then we all are required to do our own social media
Yes.
marketing on our own.
But why? Why do you have to do you hit on it, but
I
again,
think
can
a
you hit that
huge,
nail on the head again?
huge piece of that pie is personality, and vibe attracts the tribe, and what you're trying to put out into the universe to get back into your chair. And that is something that no one can do for you. You have to do it for yourself.
Yep.
And I get that it's scary. I mean, I didn't even have Instagram before I started working here,
I know.
embarrassingly enough, but I was one of those like, "Oh, I'm just really good at what I do, and my chair's full and it's
Oh,
all
but let
good."
me
But
let me ask you what your income went from when you weren't using Instagram until you started working
I
for
have
me.
doubled my income for sure.
Yep.
For sure. For sure. And also, going back to some of the podcasts we did initially out of the gate was kind of trying to find your niche, what you want to do, what makes you happy. I mean, we start out as hairdressers and we do all the things, and then we start to kind of specialize and start to get a little more
Granular.
more granular on what we want to do and how can I make more money and what would make me happier and all of these things. And all that stuff is going to be huge in the way that you market to the community.
But also the community needs to know these things about you.
Right.
I'm laughing in my head already because I already know what I'm going to say, but I think it's ridiculous that you want people to come to you, but you're afraid to let them know who you are.
Right.
Like you have to show the vulnerable parts of yourself and who you are as an artist.
I've got a great example of that.
Okay, give me one.
So
please.
recently had someone book with me,
Okay.
and they had gone onto our website.
Right.
And, I said, "How did you find us?" She said, "I went onto the website. I looked for, she was losing some hair and she needed a hair loss specialist. And so we popped up because that's what we do.
Mhm.
And she said that she was in marketing, and she said, "You guys had a beautiful website. It was really well laid out. I could go through each artist. I could see whose personalities were who, and then I could find the person that was right for me." And I was the person that was right for her because I also suffer from hair loss. And so she felt connected to me immediately because that is something that I am not afraid to tell people.
Right.
Is that I wear hair extensions because I suffer from hormonal hair loss.
Right.
And so that is a huge, I mean, it was uncomfortable. I didn't want anybody to know I wore hair extensions for a long time. And it's like, why? This is what I do for a living. I want to bond with them.
I had a really hard time in the beginning of when I started my hair extension journey as an artist. So I started in 1996. So I'd been doing hair for 5 years when I figured out that this is really the direction I wanted to go. The thing that really kept me from marketing was people's feelings. I really wanted to show these beautiful transformations that I could do for people, but nobody wanted their face shown. They're like, I don't want people to know that I have hair extensions.
Right.
So that was a shout out to me that people didn't know that they were wearing hair extensions. But then it became, how do I market hair extensions when my clients don't want to be marketed? Right. How do I show these transformations? Well, then it goes to, you just show them without the face.
Right.
You're
learning how to market.
Yep.
You're learning how to overcome obstacles.
Yep.
And you're learning how to get your stuff out there without making someone feel vulnerable.
Right.
And you'd be surprised the more you talk about it and the more you're willing to be like, "Oh, I suffer from this too. And here, look at picture of me without my hair and look at all of these things." The more they tend to sort of come out of their shell. And this could help other women.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they have this tribe of people who suffer from the same things they do.
And
like,
then they're
I
not
do want to
alone
help someone
anymore.
else. And
Yes.
next thing you know, they're allowing you to use their photographs. And it's a really kind of a beautiful thing.
But even if they're not there, you can always find a way to photograph them without showing their face
100%.
so that you can still show your work. You just have to you got to think out of the box. You can't let people put you in a box. So now that we've talked about how hard it is sometimes to just even put yourself out there, So now you've got this idea for a Instagram post. What are we going to do in 2026 that's different than 2025 and why? So, number one, hooks matter more than ever. That means that the first 3 seconds of whatever you're posting on Instagram is super important.
Gonna draw them in.
You got to draw them in that first 3 seconds. So, hooks are important. Also, they used to do Instagram where they were counting like how many times you posted,
People shared.
how many people shared, no, they weren't looking at that. They were looking at the average that you were posting daily. Like, okay, say somebody posted 7 days a week and another person posted 3 days a week. They're gonna promote that 7-day a week person before they're gonna promote the 3-day a week person, right? That's changing. So you don't have to, because what that's causing is burnout. It's causing us artists to burn out. Not only do we have to do our art and what we do for a living, but we also have to document it. And it's hard. I require that my artists post 5 days a week. I don't have to do that anymore. I think at our next meeting, I'm going to drop it to 3 because Instagram is dropping that. It's not about how much you post anymore. It's now going to be about completion rate, which means if you've got a reel that you posted and somebody stops watching it halfway through, it's not going to be counted. It's going to be how many people completely watch the whole reel. Also, which is weird, Instagram went from being like a 17-second, you wanted 17 seconds for a reel. And then the carousels and I do these typewriter effects that I do over a picture. Those can be up to a minute because they engage people more. Like you're watching a typewriter, right? Like it makes you, it kind of sucks you in, right?
You have to sort of read.
Right.
It's not just instant
so
gratification.
Those can be a little bit longer, but your ones that aren't engaging and are reading, or you need to have a hook on your reel that brings them in within the first 4 seconds. And that equals higher watch times. Soft intros. Do you know what a soft intro is?
I don't.
It's like, my best friend came in to see me today and I did her hair. And here's a reel about it. That's soft. You need a strong hook. Strong hooks are really super important. So, for example, for me and you who do extensions, if you're thinking about extensions in 2025, listen to this first. The thing nobody tells you about beaded rows. These kinds of open-ended kind of questions that make people want to have the answers for is the kind of hooks that you're looking for on your Instagram posts. Stylists, stop doing this. It's costing you clients.
Right.
Your blowout isn't lasting because you're missing this one step. Watch how fast this goes from basic to luxury, right? Those kinds of things are going to grab people's attention first, and that's what we need. The other thing is private shares. So say I found a really cool, we do this all the time. I found a really cool thing on Instagram. I'd like to recreate this at our salon. So I'm going to send it to Jenny, right? Those kinds of forwards have 12 times the amount of impact that they had last year.
Right. And you can do this for each other too.
Right.
So anytime that we do a group one on the salon, I'll send it to 20 people because that helps our engagement.
Right. And Instagram's going to recognize that now where it didn't before. So here's what we have to work at things as an artist. So completion rate combos are 80% of your reach. That means that 80% of the people need to watch your reel to completion. So watch how long your reels are.
And you can gather that information from insights. A lot of people don't understand that your Instagram account is set up and it is tracking all of the things that you're doing. And so you can go into your insights and you can see how long people are watching them on average. You can see we tell this to the girls all the time, go in there and see what reel or what post has the most engagement for the week and why. Really pick that apart. Was it the time you posted it? Because that matters too. Was it the content? Was it your hook? Was it the amount of time you spent on it? Was it just that bomber haircut you did? What was it that made that engagement 10 times better than the other 5 things you did that week?
Right.
And that's really try to
Recreate it.
recreate that and hone in on that and then continue that cycle.
Also, like the call to action is called CTA. It's super important. Like now for like 2026, they're changing things. They are not looking at how often you post. It's more what you are posting and how many people are sharing it and how many people are engaging with it. So what you need for artists, what artists need to do is they need to have strong hooks. They need to have save worthy and DM worthy content. So DM is direct message. So again, if it's funny, I'm going to share it with you.
Right.
I'm going to share it with my husband. I'm going to share it with whoever. It doesn't even have to be about hair. Like if you are literally forwarding an Instagram post to any of your friends, that's what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So think about when you are creating your content, am I creating something that people are going to want to share with other people?
And I found the most shareable things involve humor. So that's why we try to do one humorous post together a week.
I'm going to caveat that with, I find that humor and education are the 2 things that hit most on my reels, on my insights. So when I'm teaching somebody something, people like that. I get a lot of engagement with that. Or if I'm being funny, they do. But you still also, there's still room for behind the scenes. You know, people love the behind the scenes. They don't get to do this for a living. We do.
Right.
And it's an interesting career. So show it.
Right.
You know?
Or like when I'm not behind the chair, what do I like to do in my life?
Yes.
You know, like put together a reel based on your hobbies outside of the salon.
Because you do have to give like realistic versions of yourself. You know, people want to know who you are. People want to know who they're going to like be sitting with when they get their hair done. Right. So sharing part of yourself, and that's hard. Again, that's something that you and I have struggled with. I'm like, Jenny, toot your own horn. You're so freaking amazing. I've seen, not only are you a great hairstylist, but you're a great musician and you have this amazing marriage and all of these and all of the foraging stuff that you do and like all of these things that create this amazing human being that is Jenny Loney need to be broadcast so that other people can see that, because somebody might come sit in your chair because they like to forage too. And for no other reason.
Right.
So you've got to give yourself props for who you are.
It's true.
And that's hard.
It's really hard. But once you sort of get the rhythm, then you're like, okay, I've got this. But you got to start somewhere. You got to do it.
Right. The other thing that I think is really important is clean visuals. So what we're working on in the apprentice program is the next thing that I'm hitting is how to use a professional camera. Because there's a place for iPhones and there's a place for professional cameras. And your Facebook page or your Instagram page is going to look a lot more professional if you are using that camera instead of iPhones. I think for owners, there's a bit of a different kind of rhythm that you need to have. I feel like for owners, what I try to do is 1 to 2 educational promos a week. I try to like the carousels where you know, I'm showing like what I do. I like to do 1 to 2 transformations a week because I also still am a hair artist and I love to do my hairs and I like to show. When you are doing these amazing transformations every day, you forget the magic of it. But the people that are in your chair don't.
Right.
Like what you are doing for them is still as magical as it was when you were starting them 3 years ago.
Right.
So I try not to let me be getting used to what I do behind the chair.
Complacent is the word.
Yes, I try not to get complacent, and I try to make sure that I am getting content on every single client that I have. And you actually had a really great comment for Haley today.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
about
exactly
B-roll.
what we told Haley to do, because even if you posted for the day, say that. you're going to want stuff for the rainy day when you don't have anything. And I don't know how many times in a week where I'm just like, I have no idea what to post
And I'm
about.
tired and
I'm over it. And so you go into your, B-roll album,
which you should all have.
and you've got pictures, you've got video, and next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, okay, I can just pull from this and I've got it. Or you've got a really great idea for something, or maybe you ChatGPT'd something and they're like, here's an idea for a really good post. You can go into your B-roll and be like, oh my God, I have the perfect video to put behind that.
Exactly. So I believe that artists and owners and even managers, like you as a manager, it's a little bit different than me as an owner or just being a stylist. I mean, there are some reels that you do just about, oh God, what it's like to be a manager in the salon. Because it's a unique perspective. It's your perspective, so it's not unique to you, but it's unique to everybody else.
Right.
So it's really interesting to show, okay, what does a week in the life of a salon manager look like?
Right.
And if you just take little tiny videos and put them in your B-roll album,
they're going to be real bored.
You just take...
I'm like, they're going to be real bored. They're going to be like, you work too
so.
much.
I don't think so. I don't think they will.
Yeah, like the ones where you do like the time, 6 a.m., open the door. It's like 7 a.m., first client. 4 o'clock, 17th client. Then I'm like doing payroll and doing all the...
First of all, we don't work that hard. But, and if you are noticing that you're coming in at 7 a.m. and you're not leaving till 8 p.m., then your boss has an issue with that because then you are out of balance with your work-life balance.
I just meant it's going to be a really long reel.
Shorten it up.
Yeah,
just
I'm going to
get the best highlights.
I'm going to have to tighten that up.
Just tighten it up, the best highlights. And also, I don't want you working 12 hours, so please don't do that.
Yep. I found this one interesting, the comments, and I didn't realize that they have to have 6 words or more to count.
Yes.
So emojis don't count.
Nope.
Things like that don't count.
So if you're trying to promote your girlfriend on social media and you're like, I didn't realize that either. So I always do like a fire sign or like, that's really great, and thumbs up or whatever. But number 1, emojis do not count. And you have to have 6 words on a comment for Instagram to count it.
They're keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, but I think that they're doing...
Did they do away with the pod? So do you know what I mean by that?
Yes.
So before, like we would say, we have a group chat and on our commission team, and we would just put the word posted. And so that would engage everyone to go onto Instagram and pretty quickly out of the gate start engaging on that content, which helps your algorithm. But Instagram was figuring it out.
Yes.
And they were calling that pod activity. Like, we are a pod. And they were making that not count, which is
so
unfair.
Here's what they've done. So likes are not going to count as much anymore. So what that means is each one in our pod is going to have to take and make the effort to put a 6-word comment on your post instead of just liking or hearting it. And that will boost, because what Instagram's really looking for is people to actually be engaged.
Yeah.
Not fake it like we try to do sometimes, right?
Right.
Like, they need people to actually be engaged. So that means that we actually have to take an hour out of our day. I'm going to get deep here because this is like almost embarrassing. This is my normal daily life. So I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I kind of do my wake up thing. Then I do Duolingo because I'm trying to learn a different language and it's really important to me. And I've got like a 1,300 day streak. So I've been doing this for like 3 years. I'm trying to learn Norwegian. So I do my Norwegian lesson. Then I look at my Instagram and I catch up on what I might have missed over the night. And then I go and I scroll through my photos because I have screenshots of ideas that I want to do for posts. And then I take that screenshot and I turn it into a post for myself. And I go on my B-roll and I look for content to put with it. And I try to do all of these things before I even get out of bed in the morning.
Not a bad idea.
And then it's done.
Right. Especially if you're one of those people who like to lay around a little bit and like wake up. Like,
I wake up
my
an
husband's
extra
like
hour early though to do this.
Right.
Like I have to be out of bed by 7:15, 7:30. So I wake up at 6 to do all of the things that I want to do while I'm laying in bed,
Mhm.
because I can do them there, and
Mhm.
it's okay and it's comfortable. And then before I even get out of bed, it's all done.
Right.
So your business is your business. I will employ you and be a boss, and I will provide a place for you to work. But your clientele has to come from you.
Mhm.
I cannot
Toot your own
toot,
horn.
yes, toot your own damn horn.
Toot toot.
Toot, toot. Jennifer Jenkins loves to toot her own horn.
I love it.
I love Jennifer Jenkins. We used to toot our horns a lot. But
Yeah. Toot
anyway,
toot, bitches.
toot, toot, and pinkies up,
Pinkies,
bitches.
that's our slogan, but maybe
Well,
toot
we'll-
toot, bitches. At the end of this one.
Toot, toot, and pinkies
bitches.
up.
Yeah.
We'll do both of them.
Yeah.
All right. So
Well, if you enjoyed this episode, share with a stylist friend or a client who needs the truth. Feel free to email us any questions at podcast@fabricsalon.com.
that's fabric with a K, salon.com. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. And thanks for making this world beautiful, one head of hair at a time.
And toot toot.
Toot, toot. Pinkies up, bitches.